All right, take two. George Irwin here with Western Gallery. We're going to be talking to Drew Macias today. Hopefully, if I can get my technology to work. Let's see. I think people are going to be tuning in here. Thanks for coming back, y'all. We're going to give this another shot. And I don't know if Drew's on here yet. There he is. All right, I'm waving at him. Maybe that will help us with the, the Instagram gods. All right. Haha. Yeah, the phone works. I don't know why. The other thing doesn't work. Hey, Drew. How's it going?
That iPad of yours, man. You got updated or something.
Yeah. No kidding. I think maybe that's the issue, though. I think it did update, and now it's like giving me trouble. I used to do this on that frequently, but that's okay. Good to see you. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly, by the way?
Yeah, Macias. I've heard a lot of things throughout the years. Yeah.
Cool. Did the baseball announcers get it right?
You know what? I have a funny story where actually I remember going into spring training one year and I get to the big league clubhouse and my jersey was spelled wrong. They put Macias. They added an R to it.
Nice.
But yeah, for sure. A lot of different for some reason, a lot of Macias. Macias, Macias. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Macias it is, though.
Yeah. All
right, Drew. Well, cool. This is it's cool to see you've got like some other portraits behind you. And
yeah,
this is a studio tour, I guess. So do you want to show us around first, and then we can start to chat a little bit about
what you got going on? So basically, cool. I got a great understanding girlfriend who let me turn our kitchen into my little studio. So over here, it used to actually be our dinner table. It's just me and her.
Oh, wow.
We never used it. And so at first I took over the dinner table, and then I was like, I need more space. I need more storage. And so I went out and bought this cool old drafting table and threw it right in the middle of our kitchen. So yeah, I just took it over.
Whatever works, that's one of the things is like, if you anywhere you can find a spot, if you love to do it, then you'll find the spot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it definitely gets the job done. I enjoy it.
Cool.
Then actually she could
Drew, I was mentioning
too.
My first attempt. Oh, sorry. I think we're having like a little bit of a connection delay. So
yeah, that's all right.
Maybe we can let's try and be aware of that, I guess. So I was talking I think the first time I tried to do this live a minute ago on the iPad, I was saying that you were, relatively dove back into doing fine art or started for the first time. I'm not sure which. Can you tell us a little bit about I know professionally you were playing baseball, and then you were with the Padres for a little bit, and then you were acting for a little bit, and then you found your way into being more serious about drawing and painting. And I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about if you've always had the fine art kind of pull, or if it's just something you discovered.
I definitely have always drawn. Growing up, it was more, I did a lot of cartoons, throughout baseball. I'd always characterize teammates and teachers and different things like that. Definitely always been attracted to art. There's just certain things that just, I'd see certain paintings and I just sit and look at it. And, for the longest time, especially even growing up, I remember almost knowing how much time it took for that artist to do that. It was a little daunting. And I thought, I would love to be able to do that. I just don't know if I could do that. And then I think the best thing that was probably the best part of the pandemic was I all of a sudden had a bunch of time. And that's kind of when it was like I started really getting more into like, I don't want to draw cartoons anymore. I want to, kind of move this direction. And then it's just kind of I just got kind of obsessed with it. And it's just like a daily thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to me been, it's just, that's been the fun part of just watching it grow from like what I originally posted. What I was so proud of in the beginning to what I'm doing now. So.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you've shown like that you have like a kind of an innate talent and understanding for it. And then you've really developed that over the years. I think you're a great example of somebody who entered New Western Talent last year, I think, even with some drawings, and the jury didn't jury you in for whatever reason. But this year, it was you got juried right in with your 3 portraits. So that's exciting to not only kind of like see that progression, but then also to see some kind of payoff of it, I guess, or recognition is a better way to say it. So that's cool that that's kind of what happened. So nice work. I know that also like you have been, did you kind of find some mentors through Instagram or elsewhere that you've been studying with?
Yeah, so originally I remember one of the first artists I came across, he's up in Northern Cal or the middle part of Northern Cal. His name was Kenny Keys. And it was like one of the first kind of Western. Yeah. And I remember I just reached out to him or maybe he commented or something. I remember maybe he was like the first kind of other artist who started following me after stuff that I was drawing. And so I remember I just got in contact with him, started asking him about, painting and what I would need. And he was just a cool dude. And he kind of gave me a whole list. I have a whole, of what you need, do this, that. And so, we kind of kept in touch, and we still keep in touch now. So that was great. And that kind of just pushed me along. And then I was lucky enough that when I'm not painting, I actually teach kids to hit. And one of my lessons, who's a stud, he's now playing at UCLA. His uncle is Michael Cassidy. So it just was like the most perfect. Yeah, it was like the most perfect because it's like exactly where, I kind of saw myself, kind of the art that I'm drawn to. And so throughout, once Kathleen, his sister, Jack's mom, once she started understanding like, oh, you like to draw or you like to draw cowboys. And then she's like, my brother does that. It just so happened it was Mike Cassidy. And so, I reached out to him, and it just started off as like kind of like a slow little thing. And, now even looking back, I'm embarrassed. But again, I mean, just the drawings that I would originally send him, you know what I mean? And he was cool enough to just kind of give me techniques. Hey, go get this book, check out this different techniques of drawing. And then probably about August of last year, he invited me up to his place, and I stayed there for like 4 days, and he just gave me a crash course on painting. And that was it. And then he released me into the wild.
That's so cool. That's so cool, Drew. Yeah. I mean, I think that being able to connect with other artists and, learn from them is, that's like the age old way of learning to do, fine art and artisanal crafts and everything, like the apprenticeship almost. But, and I'm not saying that you were like apprenticed, but to get those kind of like tips from someone who knows what they're doing, not only just like the knowledge and technical stuff that you pick up, but even just seeing somebody doing it in a more established way, it can be like inspiring in a great way and give you kind of the vision for what you want to do too. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it was to watch him move around, and I'm a visual learner. Like I want to if you can show me, just show me a couple times, and then my brain kind of processes that. So it was really cool to just see. And again, him and I are so much alike, just in and outside, like just the way he is. It's not, it was so gritty and just let's just get this work done. And it was amazing. It was really a cool thing to watch.
Very cool. Cool. So you have kind of gravitated right to doing portraits. Do you think that came out of just doing like caricatures of your teammates and stuff, or what draws you to doing portraits of these all these characters?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously everybody's like, "Hey, draw me," or so it's always, you always have to obviously start with their face. And I think I don't like, I don't want to just like get locked in. I feel like that's just where I'm at right now. Like I want to understand the face, and then I'm slowly going to move down here, and then eventually I'm going to go back up to Bend and do more like landscape stuff and kind of learn that just kind of how he sees things. But right now I'm just having a good time doing that. Like I see a face, I see an interesting face, and I want to see, especially now, like these new paintings, like I'm in the beginning I was really sketching a lot, and now I'm trying to get more of like, I just want to draw only with my brush and like not give myself so much, just like kind of challenge myself with that. So it's I'm just still learning, I think, on the face. And I mean, obviously I got years to go to get down to the chest and the arms, but I've done a few little paintings. Yeah. With where I'm slowly, I haven't even done a horse yet, man. I'm like, I haven't even tried to do a horse. Yeah. So I'll get there eventually, man. I'll do it.
That's wild. I hadn't thought about that. Like maybe like that's just like kind of like what you feel comfortable doing at the moment. But that's so cool. I mean, it's kind of like if you get like the portrait thing down, I feel like you got a good you've got a great head start.
I was about to say, hey, nice.
Yeah. But that's such a challenge for so many painters, I think, to get like a convincing face, that a lot of people shy away from it. And I think that's really, that's admirable that you are getting that down as like a foundation. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, yeah. Appreciate
it. So Drew, I don't know if have you shown anywhere else before? Or is this kind of like the first foray into the world?
Instagram. Just Instagram.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's how you found me.
Man, I know. Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, that's cool. That's really exciting that you're starting to get your work out there though. That's cool.
Yeah,
so for now, is it just, I didn't mean it. Yeah. So for now, is it just kind of like focusing on portraits and then maybe expanding into, I don't know, like you were saying, like the rest of the figure and then landscapes and stuff as well. But do you see things like you're just kind of like doing the work and finding your voice and everything at the moment? Or do you have like a vision for kind of like what you want to do?
I think I'm definitely just, one of the other artists that I talk to a lot, and he's just been amazing of giving me pointers, is Greg Newbold. And he's got a lot of great work that I love to look at. And and we talk about that too, of like, just, I don't know, I'm looking for exactly what I want to do. In like my style, and what he says is basically just, you got to keep putting in the work and eventually it will come out. So it's like, I'm not trying to do anything like crazy experimental or anything crazy like that. And every now and then I'll kind of, for what I think is pushing, I'm going to do a pink background. You know what I mean? Like to me, I'm definitely looking for, right now I'm just trying to put out things that I think look right. You know what I mean? Like this face is very interesting. I love the shadows. I love the shapes. And I'm working on different brush strokes and different way to lay down the paint. So I guess it's just,
Hmm.
it's kind of like, hey, let's just see where this goes. I'm having fun. I don't really, I don't really put too much pressure on myself to do that. It's just, let's just see what happens. I
Yeah,
kind of think that's how I've always been.
that's really cool. I think that's, I mean, it seems like, you're in a good spot for this is, I don't know if this is worth saying, but you're in a good spot for where you are, or you're doing the right thing. I think for like the point that you are um, in your practice, and that's really exciting. I think one of the things that is exciting, and maybe you're still working at it, but I think that I think that you're starting to develop a little bit of a personal style, and maybe that's just because like of the artists that inspire you and what you're trying to emulate is not necessarily the same combination of or like maybe not the most common like combination of influences for artists who are starting out. So in any case,
Hmm.
it's starting to I feel like there's like a little bit of Drew starting to come through with these pieces, which is really cool to see. um Jose, you've been making some good comments. Jose Quintero art while we've been talking, and he said he's noticed some improvement
Yeah, that's my boy too.
and evolve. Yeah, cool. Um, yeah, so awesome, Drew. So I guess you know most artists have like a few different directions in their career before they find their um, their calling to fine art. Do you have any ideas about how like your previous experiences as a ball player and as an actor maybe have helped to shape like the way that you're approaching this?
Definitely. There's just, obviously, I feel like even when it came to acting, like, I feel like everybody probably has a certain, we have this creativity that we're trying to, let out. And I think not everybody it does it. You know what I mean? Maybe, and it could be anything. It could be, making a pot or blowing glass or, anything that I can just, I want to say that I made that. Some people, like for instance, my brother's amazing at like, he can build whole cabinets in a kitchen and he can build, that's his, that's his art. On the other hand,
Yeah.
I'm not handy when it comes to like, I can't sit and, crank a wrench and fix my car. Being a Southern California cat. So it's like, this is my, the way I get my creativity out, and for a while I was doing acting. I did that for like 5 or 6 years. And you
Hmm.
definitely in that business, you can definitely get into a place where you just feel like you're spinning your wheels. And, and things would happen here and there. And then obviously COVID happened. And then I just got into art, and it's been a great stress relief. It's just been a good, too. It's like,
Hmm.
again, it's just like, you got to find something to, put your mental energy in and be creative. And if people like it, great. If not, I've been lucky enough to have people, reach out and comment and, and I think as an artist, that's what, that's definitely a good feeling. You know what I mean? It's like you're doing it. And it was the same thing when I did acting. You know what I mean? It's like, people always, make
Hmm.
fun of the Academy Awards and different, all these are, but it's such a hard business. Even this, it's such a hard business that every now and then you do need a pat on the back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's such a huge part of, yes, like you're saying, like any kind of artistic thing is like making that connection with people and getting the feedback from whether it's like the audience or the viewer or whatever. One of the things that I think is really cool about um, visual art as who we got there?
That's Dutch. She's my art buddy. She always hangs out and
Dutch.
watches me. Duchess.
Oh, hey Dutch.
She's a lover. She's a good girl. Yeah.
Cool, cool. I love a good studio cat.
Right?
Anyway, so what? Yeah, one of the things I was thinking that it's we definitely like, or like one of the things that's wonderful about the arts is making that connection between the artist and their kind of perceptions and the viewer audience. But one of the things that I think is really cool about visual art and like tangible, like paintings, for example, is that there's like a solid yeah, so the word tangible, there's a solid tangible thing that is evidence of what you have put your work into, that you can then revisit and see that, like, oh yeah, this is what I made. And it's a little bit different than when you are acting or whatever. You're like, it's hard to like feel that when you think like, well, I think I acted really well then, and then maybe if I go back and watch this part of the commercial or the TV show or something that I was in, and it's kind of different because there's like a background in it that wasn't there before. And I don't know, it's not, I feel like there's like a little bit more of like a concrete sense of accomplishment that you can get as a visual artist making like real life stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny. I feel like when you say that, even now, because it's like where I'm at in my art journey is like I'll finish a painting and I'll look at it and sometimes I'm like, I don't even remember exactly how I did that. I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to do that again? Because like I get into a zone where I've just got some music on and I'm just strokes start coming out. I see this and I'm just so looking back and forth at my reference and what I got to do that all of a sudden I'll, and there's every now and then I'll come back and oh gosh, this is terrible. But then there's sometimes where I'm like, and that's what I just love about, like, I'll go look at different I remember I went early on when I first started getting into art. I got lucky enough to go see a Brett Allen Johnson at a gallery out in LA. And to just awesome. Sit and get up close to his paintings and look at every stroke and, the color of his blues. I don't know if you've ever seen his in real life, but it's like there's his blues just hit. Yeah. I don't know what he does. And so it's just, it's that. It's just a different, it's just different.
Yeah. Yeah. Gina has a good comment about this, about how it's like, I guess you have, painting is something you have more control over as a TV, a TV commercial is out of your hands once your bit is done. Like, I guess it is, it's more of like a, independent, product instead of like a piece of a puzzle of a big team of people working on something, as far as like fine art is concerned. That's interesting.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's good point, Gina. I like that. Cool. Well, Drew, can you tell us a little bit about the guys you got behind you there?
Oh yeah, so this is let me get Duchess out of here. These are just a couple things that I started this guy the other day, so I got a little bit more to do on him. I've actually done a small version of him, and so this is the first time I'm going to a 9x12 with him. This is my first attempt over here. This is my first attempt to just kind of quickly do a cowboy actual figure.
Arms and legs.
You can see it. Well, yeah, and I didn't really plan it well. I didn't leave enough room for his boots. So I was a little mad about that. When I started the head, I was like, oh yeah, this is plenty of room. And no, I didn't. And then we got a couple cool, just these are little fun things that I work. I'll be watching TV and I'll just start throwing paint down.
Cool.
I'll find a cool head. And then, every now and then I'll start doing some old baseball guys.
Awesome.
So
who's that guy?
This is Honus Wagner. He's got one of my favorite baseball quotes. One of his quotes is, there ain't much to being a ball player if you're a ball player. So that might go with painting. That might go with painting too. I feel like that's I feel like that you can probably switch that over to painting. I'm not there yet, but I guess yeah. When you get into like the especially when you're talking about being in that
flow state and you're not sure how it happened. It just did.
Exactly. And some people are like, can you show me how to do that? And I'm like, maybe. I might.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's interesting because you can teach. I think there are a lot of things that you can teach. But the way that you apply all those things together is something that each individual has to figure out. That's cool. So your three, yeah, I think I saw one of the portraits from New Western Talent over there on the right.
Yeah, right here.
Can you give us another look at that for a scale? And I don't really know how big these are.
Yeah, these.
Nice. All three of them.
Let me grab these things for you. Yeah, they're all right here.
Cool.
9 by 12. Again, this is just one of those spaces that I saw one time, and I'm like, I gotta paint this. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of good. Yeah, exactly with the frame.
So is that like when you say like this is like a face that I saw that I have to paint? Is that like a reference photo that you've just sort of come across, or where does that start for you right now?
I spend a lot of time just saving pictures. I've been kind of going through trying to, get into different archives, and just doing that, like trying to do the library and different things where I just sit and scour Pinterest and I'm just trying to find
interesting.
And a lot of these guys were pretty close to. This is old Joe Gillian. He was a famous Texas Ranger, and I've seen quite a few photos of him. So I just kind of zoomed in,
cool.
And and this one, I this is especially when I was like at this point where I'm just really working on, really kind of trying to simplify as much as possible. So it's like the thing that I love too about my paintings is like the farther away you get, it looks, like just a picture. And then the closer you get, which is one of the things I love about art, that's my style. Like I want you to get close and kind of, then you see all the brush strokes, and then it doesn't really make too much sense this close, but from farther away, then it's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. So there's the other one. And then let me get the other guy.
Cool. Drew, when you're painting those, are you at like all different sort of distances from the surface, or are you pretty much kind of like up close, or?
Right here. So I have this little tabletop little board, and I just kind of set it right here on these little nubs. Right, like this thing I just come right here, set this thing right here, and I have my palette right here, and I just breathe in all that dangerous fumes for 5 hours. I just kind of hang out right here, and then I'll go walk around the sink because I'm in the kitchen, and then I'll kind of look at it from far. Then I'll go watch TV for a little bit, kind of get my eyes off it, and then I'll come back and be like, "Oh, holy cow! Why would you do that?" And I'll fix it, and it slowly but surely comes out. And then every now and then I'll just get the paper towels, I'll wipe it all away and start over.
Yeah. Very cool. Cool. Are you, when you're doing these portraits, I know you said you were trying to do more like drawing with the brush. Are you just starting right with the brush on the surface, or are you doing like any underpainting or anything like that?
So like this guy, I just put my undercoat on. This green, it's olive green color. And then what I'll do is I'll just sit and look at the picture, and I'll just start drawing like with no paint. Like I'll just be moving, like, I don't know if you can see this, but like in the beginning, I'm just kind of like moving this and kind of like, see how that kind of just like wipes away the undercoat.
Yeah.
And I just
so it's
make
like a negative drawing.
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing lately. In the past, I would draw, I would draw the outline of the face. Maybe, and it just depends. Like, that's kind of like been what Mike's been pushing me to do, is to just draw more with the brush, and just, talks about like it just it comes to life a little bit more, instead of it being just like this stagnant, block in, and it's almost like just letting it flow a little bit better. It's definitely challenging. And especially, so I might mark a couple of things. Like I know I'll get my, scale tool, and I'll be like, I know, this picture to this picture, this has to be, 7 inches down where the nose is going to be. So it might just be like a mark here, a mark there, and then work around that. But it's just kind of, I'm just winging it. I'm just having fun and winging it. And sometimes I get lucky and they come out the way they want. And if not, I just start over.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that you are doing really well with is your color choices. Is that something that you are also just kind of winging, or is that something that you are paying attention to, kind of like working out a palette, I don't know, beforehand, or kind of like paying a lot of attention to during the process?
My next purchase is I am going to be getting a desktop computer and Photoshop or whatever, and Elements, and I am going to start trying to get better at planning. Like right now, I'm just looking at a black and white picture and I'm just making up colors.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like this one was a black one. This one actually I did was like the first one that I ever used. I went to my brother's and we kind of colorized it in a certain way. And so I want to get my own thing where I want to start putting more time in doing that, because there is certain times, like I'm trying to think, like for instance, this one, which I got lucky and it came out pretty cool. Like the background is just a nice color, right? Like it fits. The original background I was like, oh, yellow's a complementary color. I'm going to go yellow and it's going to pop. And I started doing the whole entire thing yellow. I'm like, oh my God, I messed it up. I screwed up the painting. And so then I just wiped it all out very carefully, and then just started like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go white. And then it came out to a color that I actually really like. I really like that background color.
Yeah.
And I even kept a little bit of the original, which actually stuff like that. Like I even kept a little bit of the original yellow right there just to kind of, and it came out. I liked it. So it's just kind of that thing where sometimes you'll do something, your eyes are like, no. And then other times you'll do something and it's like, wow, that's that swipe. I got to leave that there and not touch it. It's just, I think that's what I like about it. Because there's just certain little things that happen that I wasn't necessarily trying to do that I end up loving. So,
yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, one of the things I remember talking to Eric Bowman about before was like, he talks about like so much of his process ends up getting like, covered up or obscured, or like different things are, added and removed. And then all of that goes into like the final character of the painting. And even like, you said you added the white around him and it turned out like some of the yellows in there, some of the like background, painting in there, like kind of on the edges, all that looks really cool together. And it's kind of an accident, but at the same time, it's also like evidence of the process you went through to make it. And that's really awesome. Cool.
Eric Bowman, man, that guy's one of my favorites.
All right, Drew. Yeah. Yeah. He knows what he's doing, I think. Most of the time.
Oh,
yeah. Well, cool, Drew. What are you up to this weekend?
I think actually my cousin's going to come over and we're probably going to do some painting for a little bit. Maybe go hit up the golf course, play teen. It's my sister-in-law's birthday, so we're going to go to brunch tomorrow, church brunch. It's a great weekend.
Nice. Sounds good. Well, excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's been really nice to talk to you and to see some of this stuff and kind of learn a little bit about what you're doing. And I appreciate your time this morning, and thanks for continuing to enter New Western talent. I'm glad that you were juried in this year and that we're showing these pieces. Y'all who have tuned in, thank you guys for watching, and be sure, if you haven't, go check out Drew's work on the New Western Talent Show at western.gallery. You can zoom in and there's like some different angled pictures and I think videos even of the pieces in that show specifically. So you can check it out up close. And I guess, yeah, that's good. Keep me up to date, and all of us up to date, I guess, on what's going on. And we'll look forward to following what you're up to.
Thanks, George. Appreciate you.
All right. Cool, Drew. Adios. Bye, everybody.
Later.